Hello everybody, it is me, GamePenguin21, and today, well, I'm gonna have to talk about this, at least a little bit. Or, I guess that I don't, but I kind of want to throw my hat into the ring, because I've been somewhat in the background involved in this controversy, or at least this sort of small controversy type thing. Now, there's a reason why I haven't covered this, and that's because, number one, I came in late, and normally when I talk about stuff like drama like this, normally I don't really do that unless it's gaming related, because this isn't really a drama channel. But I did get involved, and I did make some statements, and I did at least want to keep people informed as to what this drama is, if there is any explanations to it, and give a general notion of it, because again, I am technically involved in this. But number two, I also wanted to make this video just to keep like a little bit of a bookmark of this sort of thing, to kind of at least give my own opinion and my own thoughts on this as to what exactly is happening. Now, there is several different drama stuff that I could talk about, but today I'm going to be talking about specifically the drama between SRS, or Shadow Raven Studios, as well as my good friend and friend of the channel, Moment of Sanity. Now, I know I call him my friend, but we're more of like just regular internet friends, but he's just someone that I have a kind of close-ish relationship, but not really. It's more of like a professional, I respect him, he respects me kind of deal. So I don't think it goes much deeper than that, just to be kind of clear on that. But I do respect what he does, and he respects what I do, because obviously there's a lot there. But in any case, let's actually get started onto what actually has been happening with Moment of Sanity for the past couple of, well, I think it's been a few months now. So about 8 or 9-ish months ago, Moment of Sanity made an entire video on Shadow Raven, specifically talking about the Ashfall mod. Now, Ashfall, the mod, was a mod for Fallout New Vegas, which is one of those like big ultra conversion type mods that you've probably seen around on some of them. That's like an entirely new game, but using the modding tools at the advantage of the other game. This was going to be one of those, and this project was kind of doomed from the start. Now, Ashfall itself wasn't, I don't think, started by all of these people, but the main characters that are going to be involved with the majority of this drama, I guess, are going to be Shadow Raven Studios and Moment of Sanity, obviously, but some more side characters are people such as How to Pranks Exist, or Monty something, Anna Monty or something like that, as well as, I think, Triggered Enclave or something Enclave, part of the Confederation of United Modders, and yes, that is a very weird acronym if you listen to it very back and, you know, take the letters and stuff. Very funny. But then there is also Moment of Sanity, I believe, Rinse, and Ashfall Dude, who are on the other side in the main sort of conflict of this. Some other side characters of this, I think, are myself and Domino and maybe one other person. I thought that Rinse was sitting on the sidelines, but he's had some troubles with that, which I will kind of get into in this. Now, again, this is going to be just a general overview. If you want more specifics, I'll link people's channels in the description below. There's a reason you won't find Shadow Raven Studios channel down there, and I'll get into that in a little bit here. So again, it all just, again, started with this one video, because I think Sanity found it through another person who suggested that he makes a video on it and made a response to it because of that. Now, obviously, this is just something that commentary and channels and stuff like that does. And again, if you like what it is that I do in commentary space and stuff, please hit that subscribe button and that like. I know I should have probably said that a bit earlier, but you know how it is. But with Moment of Sanity, he made this one video and didn't really think much of it. That was until Shadow Raven himself started to kind of not like the fact that he was being criticized, because I don't know if it was him or if it was a different person that was close to Shadow Raven that did that, but at the end of the day, Shadow Raven was not okay with Moment of Sanity essentially just critiquing and basically, quote-unquote, ruining his plans for trying to expose Ashfall Dude, I guess. I don't know. A lot of this information is before I even got involved in this. So it's a little bit spotty. You can kind of go back, and I think Sanity has a couple of videos. It's like season 1 and season 2 of his whole thing. So we're still technically in the first stages of season 1, kind of establishing the plot. So after SRS himself decided to basically make another response video, he then, I think, lurked around in the comment section of Sanity's videos and essentially just practically was trying to catch him or harass him in some way. Maybe not specifically, but more of just the general being annoying thing. And that's when he got into, I think, one of several debates after a time. Because Shadow Raven was not okay with this sort of stuff, and I was there for at least one of them. I was sitting in on one of the Sanity live streams of him playing No Man's Sky. I actually wanted to play with it too because I hadn't played in a while, and I wanted to bust out the good old VR headset so you can kind of see me do that. And you might notice in that specific live stream that I was rather neutral on most of this. I didn't know who this person was at the time, and now that I do, I understand that he has a lot of problems. Problems that, quite honestly, I don't think anyone can fix, not even a therapist. But he comes into the call, and he basically has his microphone muted for the first, 5 minutes that he's in there. He tries to spin this in a video that he makes after this, because, of course, he made a video after this, where he says, I was doing it to own the libs, or own the chuds, or whatever, because it was like a 5D chess move that he just completely forgot to set up his microphone. And, again, what's really funny is that in that specific video, he actually has it so that way in the top of his screen, in his screen recording, there was a clear and visible window that I managed to point out that basically said, hey, your microphone's not set up. Maybe you want to go and do that. Click this button to do so. So his microphone wasn't even set up for Discord. So no, I don't think that was the case. But he came in there and he said some pretty not so good stuff that I'm not going to repeat on this channel. And again, overall, it was just kind of a shit show. I was trying to keep the peace until he then started to insult me because, I guess me trying to at least hear his side of the story and push down the people who are trying to talk over him is a bad thing, apparently. Oops, I guess I did something wrong by trying to let you speak. My mistake. But, it wasn't the end-all be-all. I ended up going down a little bit of a rabbit hole and figuring out that not only was his channel a thing, but it was also using something that I vehemently hated, which was AI art. Yes, even his profile picture and his banner were made using AI art. That is, he made like a write-in for things there. And I looked at both of these and I'm like, both of these are ass. Not just because they're AI art, but because they're also unoriginal AI art, which is kind of worse than just regular AI art, if that makes any sort of sense. Now, again, that's just my own personal opinion. I'm a graphic designer, and literally I was obsessing at least over several different days about both of the logos that he continuously uses in some of his videos. That being the videos that he makes on Gamergate, where he has a Gamergate logo. I wish that I still had it, but it was so asinine. I literally, in my head, have remade it at least 5 different times. As well as his DLC Fun logo, which is a website that I'm going to get into more towards the latter half of the video, so stay tuned with that. But we get ahead of ourselves. After his first debate with Moment of Sanity, he then went on a debate, I think, with Xander Hall and then one other person. I believe it was Rince, though I'm not too certain. He went on a couple of debates there before eventually coming back around to Moment of Sanity and then getting his ass thoroughly walloped a third time, or was it a fifth time? And essentially, after that, he just seemingly went off the deep end. Now, this is alleged information that we got from other people who were apparently closer to SRS than anything else, but he apparently had an entire meltdown in his own server, talking about nothing more than how Sanity was a complete dickhead and an asshole, despite the fact that that Shadow Raven himself made very clear and trackable allegations of P3DO or a PDF file, for specifically Moment of Sanity. Not only that, he has continuously called Moment of Sanity a groomer of sorts because he retweeted a bunch of trans art, I guess, and some of this art wasn't even like gay or trans in that context. It was just a lot of art that was during Pride Month in June as well. And his argument, and I'm not making this up, his argument is that because you're retweeting this, and because you have people in your Twitter feed who are minors who follow you, who are your audience, they see that, and therefore that is grooming. Which makes no sense if you think about it for more than 30 seconds. And here's why. The basic principle and understanding is that, number one, this was in June, but number two, even if it wasn't in June and this was just random artwork that he just so happened to have, this is also not Sanity's art, because I don't think he makes art in the same style as all those people that he retweets. They're made by other people. And his whole thing literally boils down to The Simpsons, a clip of, oh, think of the children, because apparently showing someone artwork of trans inclusion or even just trans memes or something like that, or even just pronouns, apparently, is grooming, which, according to literally all definitions that I could find on the internet, by the way, comes down to grooming a child for sexual exploitation, or just exploitation in general. Essentially, manipulating stuff to it's not just, how do I put this better? Merely showing off artistic works of trans and stuff is not good as evidence, because as someone who also is an art major, literally a graphic designer, guess what I had to take? I had to take art history. And you know what's a lot in art history? A lot of people were fucking trans and shit in art history for whatever reason. Like, there is a famous, I believe, picture of one of the artists who was like a cross-dresser who took a picture of herself in a mirror, and that was like deemed as high art. I forget the specifics of it, but there are a ton of weirdness and artistic related things of people doing things like going under a stage and jacking it. I am not making this up. I fucking swear to God. Like, art can be very weird. But I have the mindset to go, yeah, I get it. But anyway, with all that being said, just having the artwork be representative of everything is not a groomer make, idiot. So, yeah. Anywho, after all of this, Shadow Raven decides to delete his first channel, or at least the channel that he was using to do that. After this, he seemingly went quiet for a while, and that's where we deemed it to be like the ending bit. However, that wasn't the end of the harassment or anything like that. After deleting everything and also getting blocked live on air, on YouTube Live, during a live stream, Moment of Sanity actually got blocked, meaning that he was watching the live stream live, and I bore witness to this. It was so amazing, and I still chuckle at this because it was so fucking funny. But anyway, overall, after this event of Moment of Sanity, basically, not running him out of the internet, but after SRS decided to run out of the internet, allegedly because of some sort of lolicon type video that he had uploaded, but he did that to avoid a community strike because of reasons. Now, again, I'm not sure of this information. I've heard it for other people, so this is alleged. There is no confirmation that this was an actual thing that happened. But he did delete his channel, and he decided to try and make a new one called DLC Fun Shadow Raven Studios, because someone at that point had stolen the for Shadow Raven Studios and had started to archive his stuff. The archive channels do become important a little bit later. After this, I think Rince made a video and a debate on it. Xander Hall made his video and debate. Sanity posted his debate and stuff, and everyone all the way down the line, in the end, decided to just try to wash their hands clean of this. But not Shadow Raven, who has continuously tried to bring this back up. Recently, a couple of things he decided to do, which is towards the, I believe, middle or ending of Season 2 right now. I know I skipped a bit, but that was the majority of what happened. Towards the middle and end of this whole Season 2 thing, he decided to come back into the live streams to essentially say, we're gonna make some empty threats. Or at least, maybe not empty threats, but we're gonna at least make threats on the case of, we're going to take down your channel and videos because you are, quote, harassing us. Despite the fact that it's literally just reporting incidents and commentary, both of which fall under fair use, meaning that fair use is quite easily handleable. Which is one of the reasons why you're probably not going to see a lot of screenshots or anything, and it's just me ranting into a microphone for like 20-ish minutes, because quite honestly, this whole situation got super out of hand with this. Now, you might have noticed again that I used DLC Fun Shadow Raven Studios. What is DLC Fun? DLC Fun is its own can of worms, so we're not going to go into it in this video, or really at all, unless I want to just do an autism spree of just how weirdly kind of shitty the actual DLC Fun logo is. But to give you the generalist of information, DLC Fun is the website that the CUM people apparently run, the Confederacy of United Modders, if you forgot that an acronym. Those guys apparently run DLC Fun, and they try to make money by quote-unquote paying their modders for downloads. Now, how do they do this? Well, they repost mods with little to no evidence of the original modder, and they just fucking take credit for it. Excellent work, guys. You are really sticking it to Nexus Mods, who you are apparently in very much competition with. So, great job. Anywho, that's really the beginning and the ending of what I know about DLC Fun, and all that I care to learn, at least as of this moment of me saying this sentence. But after making those empty threats and really nothing coming about it, I think this is where Enclave comes into this, and he basically then decides to message Moment of Sanity, threatening him with sort of, he's going to ruin him in the modding community for Fallout New Vegas, I guess, because apparently apparently Sanity is woke or whatever reason. Cool. I don't know where you get your meth, but who's your dealer? So yeah, but that whole thing was literally just him being high up on his own petard. Literally, that's all that I could really say, because some of the wording that was used in that was like, I can literally have my entire community just take you down from this. And I'm like, you know what? That man is just as bad, if not worse. I know that me even just talking about all of this is going to basically get a target on my back for this, but I feel inclined to at least bring my stuff forward to this, because quite honestly, this is just a weird situation to be in. Like, honestly, even if it was dropped after the first thing, or the first, like, big wave when he deleted his channel. By the way, after he made that second channel and made those threats, he then deleted that channel and is now moved over to Rumble, which is where a lot of the people who got kicked off of YouTube tend to go for that better revenue, I guess. In any case, at the end of the day, Shadow Raven is one of those people who you just look at and see him holding up the one sign in front of like an abortion clinic and is like, I think that he definitely needs a vasectomy. I mean, again, these are all absolutely 100% jokes, so, you know, it's whatever. But it's very crazy to me how this has spanned about 8 months worth of content, and already Moment of Sanity, I believe, is on the verge of, like, what, 2.5K now, or, like, 2K now, because of how many people have, because of how many he's decided to cover this dude. So, you know what, I want a little bit of a piece of that pie. So this is my coverage of it. To give off my own very vague opinion off this, Shadow Raven, if you do manage to somehow find this, because I feel like you'd be the one to Google your own name, I do want you to know that even after all that you've done, all that you did, I still believe you're not a bad person. All right? Despite everything. Because I believe that even bad people can learn from stupid mistakes, and you made a lot of stupid fucking mistakes. Despite how I criticize your opinions, your thoughts, even the logos that you use, I still think that you as a person can get better if you just decide to sit down and listen to your critics. You are one of those people that I think can do that if you just take whatever brain you have and just massage it a little bit with some knowledge, not through Fox News, if you can catch my drift there. Or at least that would be the end of it if it weren't for the fact that I was contacted by Good Guy Dave, who apparently is one of the side characters that I seemingly forgot to mention in my whole recap thing here. I didn't want to bring this up until anything else, or really wanted to cap it off on a positive note, but this kind of justifies me making the video even just a little bit more. He came into my comment section, not on this video, but on my Harman Smith video, where I collaborated with both Moment of Sanity and Rinse. It took him about a week to find me, apparently, but he decided to, leave these couple of comments. Basically saying that he is a collaborator with Moment of Sanity and Rinse, and please do not make this specific video on the Shadow Raven Studios, please and thank you. And of course, when I told him to kick rocks, he basically then decided to try and bribe me. The bribe of this was that one of the Confederacy of United Modders apparently knows Chris Avalone, who I had to look up, who apparently he is the person who made Fallout 2, which, okay, don't really care, not a Fallout channel, but interesting, and he asked if we could appear on our channel. I mean, I probably would want to DM him for this, but whatever. And finally, he then came into the comment section one last time after I told him I don't give a shit and I'd rather eat shit, to basically just say it doesn't matter, you should stay on All Out Monty's good side if you want your YouTube channel to survive. Considering the other two are doing just as fine, and mine is actually a lot more positive than any of the other two, where I actually can forgive him for being the stupids if he really wants to, but he clearly doesn't seem to want to. And I don't really care more about the situation than to just report on it and say, this was a dumb situation. Anyway, that little last bit is probably going to be the actual end of my involvement in this until I make a video on the outcome of what this video comes to. So that's going to be in another comment section video, probably coming out in a few weeks when I get more comment sections together. But I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit of an update there. In any case, thank you all again so much for watching. My name is GamePeng21, and a peace off.